33 on shooting. What are you seeing from the Celtics that are just kind of making things difficult for you? And do you view Game 3 as like maybe an opportunity to bounce back?
Thanks for reminding me of my delightful shooting percentage. But, I mean, you know, when I watched the film, I probably seemed a little rushed. I wasn't underneath my shot. But this is nothing I'm immune to. I've been through shooting slumps before, and the best part is it's how you respond. So come Game 3, I'll probably not do much differently rather than just play with great pace and hunt great shots. Because when I tend to do that, I tend to have the big night. And most importantly, you know, it feels good going for 4 for 19 and winning by 20. Like, I'd rather do that than go 13 for 19 and lose by 10. Been there, and that's never fun.
Question from CJ here in the middle.
Klay, what are some of the keys to playing in an environment like TD Garden?
Probably not giving away possessions, limiting turnovers, taking great shots. That probably starts with myself. And then just playing as hard as we did Game 2 with that force. We know this team plays very well at home. And, you know, usually on our championship runs, you have to get a road win or two to complete the mission. So this is not a new scenario for us, and it comes down to just playing that brand of Warrior basketball that allows us to be successful.
Next one on the left.
Sorry for the oddity of the question, Klay. When you go around the NBA, do you ever notice the rims ever being different at arenas, or are they all the same?
Some might have a little more give than others. You know, some places the rims might see a little tighter, but it's rare. I mean, that's a very, but not really. They all seem 10 feet, and they all seem the same size and circumference, so I try not to overthink things, you know, the more simple. So seems like the same rim I grew up playing on, and these have a little more give though, you know, especially compared to the rims at recess, the double rims, those things are stiff.
Next question in the back right.
Hey, Klay, as you just said, you've been through shooting slumps before. You've broken out of them, you've come out of them, great shooter. But I'm just wondering, do you have reference points post-injury comeback that you can lean to as far as, I had a bad stretch then, and I know I can do it because I did it back then?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's the beauty of playing in today's age is you can go on YouTube and you can look up all your great moments. And for me, it's as recently as round 2 against the Nuggets or last round against the Mavs. You know, I hadn't made a multiple three-point game all series, but I stuck to the process, and eventually I blew the lid off. So for me, it's just about keeping that same mindset of shoot or shoot. And I'd rather go down swinging than being gun shy.
Next question on the left.
Klay, Young Musik, ESPN. When you have gone to YouTube, when was the last time you did that, and what did you call up?
It's a great question. I probably did it yesterday, actually. I do have, you know, I remember being in college, and when you go through a shooting slump, you just pull up, you know, the video guys would pull up a great game of when everything seemed in unison and your body was working so well and that ball was just flowing off your fingertips. And gosh, I'll probably just YouTube Game 6 Klay because there's some very high pressurized situations I was in, and I ended up shooting the ball well. And when you can do it, when your back's against the wall, you know you can do it at any given moment. It's just about keeping that mental strong.
Tim in the middle.
Like switching the defensive side, you got Horford in the last game. There were a couple of times when he tried to post you up, not successfully. What's your mindset when you have a guy like that? A big guy, but he also tends to shoot threes.
I mean, well, Al killed us that first game. I think him and White were instrumental in their victory. So when I play a big guy like that, you got to get underneath him kind of because you know, they can shoot over the top of you. So use your quickness and try and just, gosh, I don't want to give away too much of the scouting report, but yeah, just use your quickness and play that physical brand of defense that Draymond was playing. That kind of propelled us to a victory, and we followed his lead, and I think that force was key.
Monty on the right.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Clay, how much of your confidence, you talked earlier about staying with the process and just staying online, how much of that is based on your history and basically knowing that pretty much every playoff series you guys have played, there's at least a game where you show up and you do something crazy. How much of your confidence is knowing that it's going to come?
Like you said, just studying the history of my career and realizing that, you know, it's not a linear progression. It could be nights where I'm hitting everything or I'm not hitting the rim at all. It's just about realizing that, like, greatness takes time and it doesn't happen overnight. And for what I've been through the last couple of years, I will gladly be in this position, especially considering where I was at last year during June. Me and Rick Celebrini in the gym, just us two in the arena is empty. There's no fan, there's nobody in the Bay during that time. So to be back here on this stage, just got to remind yourself to keep working because it's a blessing and it's really an honor to be here.
Last question in the middle.
Clay, Shaney on Horford Sports. You all have faced a lot of teams that like to switch your off-ball actions. Houston tried to do it effectively. Does Boston, does something separate Boston in terms of how they're able to do it?
I don't think so. I think it's I think we've seen every type of defensive scheme at this point over a decade. Basketball is not that complicated, you know. You either, yeah. So I think we've seen every type of defense, whether it was blitzing the ball screen up top or, like you said, switching every off-ball pick or every pick and roll. We just got to watch film, and we develop counters for them. And I will not tell you those because we know why.
Thanks, Clay.
That was easy. Nice.